Hello, it is Sunday, September 8th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Sunday crossword, which means a big jumbo grid, a themed grid, and a title, Life Milestones. So maybe, I don't know, things like birth and death and everything in between. We'll find out. I don't know. And this lively edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Matthew Drake, Fargrim, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster, the incorrigible Sheeler Beeler, and the indefinable Charlie Paget. So thank you so much to the five of them. They're benefactors, of course, of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, which means they support this channel. They bring us this series day in, day out. And for that, I'm very grateful. Thank you to those five and to everybody who backs the Patreon campaign at any level. If you'd like to do that, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link. You'll find the bonus videos there, as well as for benefactors, the Let's Check the Crosses official mug. Oh, and I've not yet done this week's mini puzzle pseudo speed solve that just occurred to me. I just haven't been in a position to do very much solving this past week, but I will get to that as soon as I can. Anyway, thanks again to everybody who backs the channel. Thanks as well if you subscribe on YouTube, which is also quite a big help. Why not just get on to the puzzle? So this is a Sunday construction by Megan Morris, who's constructed half a dozen puzzles possibly for the New York Times, and it was edited once again by Joel Faliano. Let's start solving. Oh, it's called Life Milestones. Just again, smacks. This could mean lots of things. Smacks could mean smacking someone. It could mean it smacks of corruption. It sort of has the air of. It could mean smacks like kisses. I don't know. I mean, I could imagine a theme thing where it's something like, oh no, kisses are the X's, where, you put in something like that, and it just means kisses. I don't think that's going to be the answer. There'd be a lot of words starting with X. Worrywarts words. What if, maybe? If you're a worrywart, you're someone who's constantly worried about things, and you might constantly be thinking, oh, what if this terrible result occurs? Smacks. Wax or something? It probably ends with an S. Church recitation at times. A hymn, or you don't really recite a hymn, you sing it. Church recitation. Don't know. What about this? Painter Rousseau. Henri Rousseau? Does that help with this? Church recitation. Sins? I don't know. In a confession you recite yourself? That's not really right. I don't know. I'm not sure what this is. Extra. Add-on. An extra would be an add-on. Let's see if that... Maybe it is sins. Is it? There's probably a particular thing that it would be recognizable to many of you that I'm not clocking there. Tugboat greetings. Toots of the horn. Yep. Okay, so it is sins. So recitation of sins. I mean, that kind of sounds familiar. I can't really place it. I don't know. Maybe someone will tell me in the comments. Pertaining to the pursuit of pleasure, hedonistic or hedonic, yes. And sort of hedonic, what is it? Hedonic adaptation, basically, is as you kind of experience, you get accustomed to sort of a higher standard of living or quality of life that becomes your new normal. And so that's I think, a common deployment of the word hedonic in the modern times. Memo heading sort of in regards to, he put a subject there. Country that counts the French president as a co-prince. This is Andorra. This is fascinating, absolutely fascinating. You look up the governmental structure of Andorra. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's a principality, and it has two co-princes, and the French president is one of them, which I just find fascinating. Anyway, smacks, whaps. If you sort of smack someone, you whap them, maybe. Write in, often. Oh, a protest vote, I see. If you don't vote for one of the candidates officially on offer and you simply write someone in, that's essentially a protest vote in an election. Age 5. Oh, that is italicized. First grade or first grader, maybe? No. First something, obviously. It may come loose. A tie might come loose over time. Many an airport shuttle. A van, maybe this isn't tie. You might be shuttled around an airport in a van, maybe? I'm not sure if that's right. What about this one? 1 of 13 in a standard game of Jeopardy category. So one category out of 13. I guess I definitely would not have known that Jeopardy has 13 categories, but that sounds very plausible. So what's this? It may come loose. Tea. Oh, yes. Okay, it is tea because this is Van. That's tea. Loose tea, loose leaf tea, as opposed to it being sort of ground or powdered. Okay, so then to join a petition would be to sign a petition, to put your name on it. Game whose name must be said to win. Uno. In the card game Uno, you have to declare Uno. Is it when you have one card left? Is that? I don't remember. I haven't played Uno in a very, very long time. It's something like that. Proud Mary Band for short. Is it CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival? Oh, I think it might be because then age 5, first in class. Why is that true? What does that mean? Age 5. Is that first in class? Oh, does that mean the first? So first in class is obviously a phrase, but I think in this context it means what? It's the first time you enter a sort of proper classroom. Is that kind of what it means at age 5? Is that what it's getting at? I think probably it is. And right, so this is one of our life milestones. I sort of forgot about the theme. Are there any early? Yes, there is. Age 1. First birthday or something like that? Let's see. Are they all going to be firsts? No. Okay. I'm trying to. Maybe that's what the life milestones are. A number of cases of first, but we'll get back to it. Awful in slang. Sucky, I suppose. Maybe. Glittering. Sparkly. Singer Jackson, who wasn't a part of the Jackson 5. LaToya Jackson. Actually didn't remember that, but didn't remember that she wasn't part of it. But let's look at this. Drive in Beverly Hills. Rodeo Drive is a famous street in Beverly Hills in Los Angeles. So there we've got two proper nouns crossing, which is always can be tricky if you don't know the people in question. And this one I could imagine people not knowing these two names. And when it's a vowel in the overlap, that can be tricky because names can have any number of vowels in any different place. Anyway, pundits writing, an op-ed maybe, so a pundit, a sort of commentator, might write an opinion piece, an op-ed in a newspaper. Stick, a poll maybe? I don't know if that's right. Let's try it and see. Obey your thirst or got milk, those are slogans, ad slogans maybe, so this is not poll. And because it's saying obey your thirst or got milk, we're only referring to one or the other of these. So it's a single ad slogan in the answer, in case you're wondering why that's not plural. Letters aptly found in Obamacare. Oh, I've never seen this observed before. Well, maybe I have and I didn't remember, but the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, is the actual name of the policy, but it often gets referred to as Obamacare. Obviously, a U.S. political clue there. All right. Admit guilt, perhaps, to cop a plea. Yeah, to cop a plea. So you make a plea. Maybe you work out a plea bargain with the prosecution in court to sort of accept a reduced sentence. Okay, here we have Dom Perignon, a champagne, a very sort of famous high-end champagne. Age 1, amateur something. Let's look at this. Glue. You stick something to a surface, you glue it. There, that makes sense. Hip hop is dead rapper Nas. There we go. So then, what's this? Age 1, amateur. I don't know. Don't know what that's about. Assumption of the Virgin painter. I don't know who painted that offhand. What about this? Modern day alternative to a cash till. An E something. An E, I don't know. Maybe it isn't. I bet it's an E something. Edible shell. Edible shell is sort of something in a chocolate, the chocolate of a chocolate egg, maybe? I'm not sure. Diplomat Kofi Annan, the former Secretary General of the United Nations. Way to bulk up one's chest with pride or something like that, maybe? You sort of puff yourself up. Let's see. I'm not sure that's right, but let's look at the crosses. Tiki bar fruit. this probably isn't right. I mean, the most common tiki bar fruit would be a pineapple, I would think. Papaya? Not necessarily. I can't really necessarily think of any tiki drinks that have papaya, but I'm sure that that is a garnish that exists. Let's just see. It might not be the answer, but let's look at it and see. Edible shell, I'm not sure. Way to bulk up one's chest. It could be referring to a chest in which you store things as opposed to a chest that's part of your torso. But I'm still not sure what the answer would be. Opposite of an adversaire, so opposite of an enemy in French would be ami, which is friend in French. So there's a point for papaya. Let's see. Yes, and a desire, if you have a desire for something, you have a yen for it. You have a longing or a yearning. So I think it probably is papaya. Neighbor of Niger, abbreviation. Okay, what country abuts Niger? Algeria, maybe? That sounds plausible. Let's look at this and see. Oh, I haven't looked at this yet. Porcelain coating. Enamel, yes. You know, on your, well, I was going to say on your teeth, but I guess more accurately on sort of porcelain vase or something like that. Okay, so what is this? Amateur. I don't know. And here we have edible shell. I don't know that either. Way to bulk up one's chest. Modern day alternative to a cash till, an e-jar. That was my first thought, but because I was thinking, oh, maybe for tips, like a tip jar, but electronic. But that's not really an alternative to a till per se. That's an alternative to a physical tip jar. So I don't think that's the answer. Okay, we'll keep going. Quarry. So quarry could mean, a rock quarry, for instance, where you get stone used to build things, but it could also mean quarry as in your prey, something you hunt. I'm not sure what the answer is. Blank al-Fitr, end of Ramadan, Eid. Does that help me? Edible shell. Assumption of the Virgin painter. They follow quarters. Oh, semis, as in quarterfinals and semifinals in a tournament. That seems reasonable. Quarry. Oh, stone. Maybe it is stone something. Stone pit. Yes, a quarry is a stone pit. That would make sense. I think that's probably right. Okay, so Assumption of the Virgin. I don't know. It'll probably be someone famous, but I just can't. Edible shell. It's like Pernod, the sort of anise-based liqueur, but it's not going to be that. A pea pod. Yes, okay, there we go. So a pea pod is essentially the shell of the pea, but you can eat that as well, depending on the sort of kind of pea it is. Age 1, amateurs ranking? Amateur standing. Oh, okay. There we go. So if you have, I guess this is sort of playing on the phrase amateur standing. If you have amateur standing in a competition, you as distinct from being considered a professional. But then obviously in this case, you're referring to a child standing as an amateur at standing up. Okay, good. So this theme is proceeding. I'm getting it. Way to buckle up one's chest. Oh, a padded bra. Okay, so it is. It was referring to your torso. It was the original meaning, I thought, but in a punnier way it was slight misdirection, because you say I guess puff up one's chest is actually the meaning that I was thinking of before, not bulk up. So I actually wasn't reading this properly. So bulk up would mean to physically enlarge. So maybe, with exercise, or in this case, a padded bra. Okay, actor Paul Dano. I think I mainly know from There Will Be Blood, a great film. Leech-like is parasitic. Yeah, there we go. So a leech is a parasite. Name rhymed with says in Taylor Swift's Betty. Inez, I guess? I don't know this song, but it'll be Inez probably. I don't know how it'll end, because actually, as we saw about a week or two ago, this name can be spelled multiple ways, and you don't necessarily know which until you get the crosses. All right, Major or May politically. So these were two British prime ministers of the Tory party, the Conservative Party. So that's John Major in the 1990s and Theresa May just a few years ago. And again, because it's an or clue, major or may, politically, we're only referring to either one of them, which is why the answer is Tory rather than Tories. Okay, age 16. So something about driving, maybe. Oh, driving crazy or something like that. Yeah, okay. That is what it is. So obviously playing on the phrase, that's driving me crazy, or, this will drive you crazy. But yes, teen drivers are often slightly irresponsible. Okay, nice Nikon for short. So a Nikon camera, presumably in this case, an SLR, a single lens reflex camera. Sort of standard consumer camera type in the modern era. Went downhill. You slid, you went downhill. And Janine's boss on Abbott Elementary. Right, Abbott Elementary has been included a handful of times in the last, I don't know, year or so. I've still not seen it, so I don't know Eva or Eve or Ava. Oh, this looks like llama. Animal whose name is pronounced with a Y sound by many Spanish speakers. Okay, there we go. So is it Yama then? I guess that would make sense with the double L. And then, Titian. Okay, so Titian is the Assumption of the Virgin painter. Fair enough. I mean, that wasn't something I would have, obviously it wasn't something I knew off the top of my head, but there we go. So Janine's boss, okay, so it could be Ava. And then government lawyers are DAs, district attorneys. There we go. That's that. Okay, so they're government prosecutors. All right, a rare bill, SR, no. I was going to say SRO, like standing room only, but that's, I don't see why that's the answer here. Unvarnished is pure or raw or something like that. Pure, maybe? Whip It Band. Oh, that's by Devo. The band, that was fronted by Mark Mothersbaugh, right? Who went on to become a very successful film and television composer. And let's see. Unvarnished, sort of like Danny Elfman of Oingo Boingo, who had a similar career trajectory. Anyway, unvarnished, yeah, it could be pure. Way to go, a path, maybe? So yeah, I think pure is reasonable. Let's put it in. Good grief. Ugh, maybe, just an expression of disgust. John who explored the Northwest Passage. John, I'm actually not sure about this. Let's look at this. Succulent source of syrup, agave. There you go. You can often, you sort of use it as a honey. It's a sort of alternative to honey, potentially. So John, I don't know, Ray maybe, or I actually don't know. Age 18. Look, this is probably going to be an E with the, but I don't know that yet. Rare bill. Yeah, what is that? I don't know. Battery options, AAA's probably. That's pretty straightforward, I would think. So to gawk at someone is to sort of stare open-mouthed at them, to gape. And word with ship or shorts, cargo ship or cargo shorts. Decorate, in a way. To deck, maybe? As in deck the halls, you decorate? I don't know. It feels a bit too similar in sound to the word decorate, so maybe not. Symbol for a winding road, an S, sort of S-curve sign or something like that. I don't know. Chris of Jurassic World, Chris Pratt. I've not actually seen any of those World ones, but I certainly know he's in them. Subject of some training, CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, I think. Alternative to the pill, in brief, an IUD, birth control, essentially, an uterine device. Okay, age 18. Something of the majority? No, I don't know. Not sure what it is. Sorry about that. Political analyst Walter. I'm not sure. Tour group. What kind of tour are we looking at here? Oh, PGA, the PGA Tour, maybe, a golf tournament, or whatever it is. Actually, I assume it's a tournament. Shows how ignorant I am about this sort of thing. Anyway, does that help with this? Age 18. I can't see it. Decorate in a way. Oh, trim. If you trim a tree, you decorate it like a Christmas tree. Let's try that. Walter. Amy Walter, maybe? I just don't know this name, I don't think. Rare bill. Oh, a $2 bill is a rare bill. I think they're technically still minted, but they're not sort of put into circulation. So I think is the case, but I don't know if that's still true. Symbol for a winding road. Wavy lines maybe. Like wavy lines on a sign indicate a winding road. I think that's probably right. So then what's age 18? Given, probably not given because mouse-like, timid. If you're timid, you could be described as mouse-like. So give it the old college try. Okay. Because age 18, no, wait. Maybe it's old college try? Did I spell this right? Maybe it's old college try. Give it the old college try. I think this might be right because 18 is around the age at which you might attend university. So I think that's probably, and give it the old college try is a phrase, that means just put your back into it. Give it some real effort. Tree, but I'm not certain about this contraction of old, but let's just see if we can confirm or deny. Tree along Central Park's literary walk. It must be elm trees. I didn't know that offhand. Head of staff, a clef, so on a musical staff, at the head, at the beginning, you will have a clef that indicates the note range of this particular staff, like a treble clef or a bass clef. Okay, close relative of Hindi, Urdu. The language is a close relative of Hindi, so there we go. Give some shade to your hair, for instance, or I don't know, clothing would be to dye it. Shade is in color, obviously. Laughing gas or quicklime, those must both be oxides, so they have oxygen. Out of patience, if you're exasperated, yeah, that fits. If you're out of patience, you're exasperated. That looks good. So what about this? Prefix from the Latin for needle, that makes sense. Acupuncture, for instance. So that seems reasonable. Okay. It's whatever, meh, you might say. An answer I tried to put in the grid yesterday but was wrong. Today it appears to be correct. Award-winning Janelle Monáe, the very talented songwriter and performer, and actor actually for that matter. Something on an ear, or in a different sense, a foot, corn. So you have an ear of corn, so the corn is on the ear, the cob, but on your foot you could have a corn, which is a sort of, I don't know, a bunion or what is it, a sort of overgrowth of skin. Okay, about whom Lennon wrote, I want you, she's so heavy. Must be Yoko Ono, with whom he was in a relationship at the time. That is a great song. That is an unbelievable song. And I always really loved the way that it ends with this overpowering white noise synth coming up, and then it just cuts off. And that would have been the end of the A-side in the record days, but I never owned it on vinyl. I think I first probably owned it on cassette tape. But then going from that into Here Comes the Sun is just such a great, strange contrast. It's so effective. Anyway, Thai's neighbor, so Laos, so someone from Laos, neighbor of, Thailand. So there we go. Okay, feature of the Pizza Hut logo. Oh, right. Okay, the Pizza Hut logo features the sort of distinctive shape of a roof of a Pizza Hut restaurant. The Kite Runner protagonist. Oh, I've never actually read the Kite Runner. Boy, I'm not sure. That's frustrating. Years of service, a term, so political service, for instance. Goal. Your aim is your goal. Together as one. Neighbor of Lebanon, e.g. Israel. Tick off. To miff someone is to sort of tick them off. Vacation site in the Ionian Sea, Corfu, is a famous vacation island. I've never actually been there, but there we go. I recognize it at least. Age 21, something admission. Something about, at least in the U.S., at least in most states in the U.S., legal drinking age. Is that what it is? Something admission? Bar admission, maybe? Maybe this isn't wavy lines, because you could see the phrase bar admission referring to being admitted to the bar in a legal sense, becoming a qualified lawyer, but also you're admitted to a bar where you can drink alcohol at age 21. So I don't know that that's right, but I'm going to try it. And let's see if I can justify bar. Picnic invitation abbreviation. BYO beer, BYOB maybe, bring your own beer. Could be that. What about this? Dwelling with a circular frame. A yurt was a circular dwelling. So what about this? However, blank, or however, ... in texts. OTOH. On the other hand, you might say, however, consider this alternative possibility. Thermostat setting, you might set a thermostat to auto to control the temperature in your home. And any of the 6 in football's New Year's 6. I have no idea what this is referring to. This doesn't even ring the slightest bit of a bell for me. So, wavy arrow. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I can't actually picture that in my head, but it makes sense. I mean, I can picture it, but I can't conjure up an image of an actual sign. But I can imagine what it might look like. Oh, a mirror. There we go. That is more plausible than whatever I had there before. Okay. So competitors who know their limits. Mathletes. People who participate in some kind of mathematics competition might know their limits in the mathematical sense, sort of in the calculus sense. Clever little pun there. Any of the 6, oh, right. Oh, bowl game. You have bowl games in American football. So let's look at that and see. Secluded valleys are glens. Director Kazan, Elia Kazan of On the Waterfront and so on. Delicately pretty. Is that what it says? Yeah, delicately pretty. Dainty. Hideout spot is a den, potentially. Val Kilmer's Top Gun role, he was Iceman. There we go. And did briefly reprise that role in the sequel to Top Gun. Age 100. Centennial or centenary, something like that, dealing with having reached 100 years. But I'm not sure which version we're looking for, what the total phrase is. Blank, a biography of the fish that changed the world, 1997 nonfiction bestseller. Cod, maybe? I don't, it's a fish that fits, so maybe. Cod used in fish and chips, for instance. Give the lay of the land. To orient someone is to give them the lay of the land, so I think that's right. And then mess up is to err, to make a mistake. German for never is nie. Simply means never in German. Lake black tie affairs. They're dressy. They're wear a dinner jacket and a bow tie. For men anyway, typically. Age 100. I don't know. AOL was an early one, in brief. An ISP, internet service provider. Okay, so this is probably centennial. There we go. Rather than centenary. School with the mascot Big Al for short. I have no idea. Oscar-nominated Lena Olin, probably, was a classic actor. Pirates Hall, Pirates Booty. There we go, the treasure that they've acquired. School with the mascot Big... Oh, right, I just looked at this. Big Al. Bama, maybe? Alabama. Oh, Al, maybe, for Alabama. That could be it. I think that's probably right. I definitely have encountered this nickname for University of Alabama before. Warmly acknowledges. Smiles on or smiles at. If you smile at someone, you acknowledge them warmly. I think that's right. World capital with the most appearances in the New York Times crossword. Oh, look at that. The official world capital of the New York Times crossword, Oslo. I think with this clue stating this, I think we can generate a new official title. I do think I'm going to, from now on, recognize Oslo as the confirmed official world capital of the New York Times crossword. So there we go. Good. Got another one in the bank. Broad view, a panorama is a broad view. Sort of wide image. Doctoral graduation cap. I don't know. It's not a tam o' shanter. That doesn't make any sense in this context. Driver's target in brief. Maybe this isn't smiles at. Maybe it is smiles on. It doesn't work quite as well. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it is. Gab, to natter on, to talk and talk, to, etc. Homophone of we. Oh, it's OUI, it's oui in French for yes. And then here we have age 65, something about retirement maybe, or final, it looks like final something. I don't know. Flowing movement between yoga poses. No idea. QVC alternative is, so this is a U.S. drugstore chain. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm thinking of CVS. QVC is a television shopping network, I think, but I don't know. I don't know what the alternative would be. Channel owned by Paramount for short. I don't know. I have no idea. Like red card recipients. Is this dealing with Chinese New Year, red envelopes? No. No, it'll be red cards like in football. It'll be, association football, soccer. It'll be people who've committed offenses. Foulers, maybe? If you committed a foul, could you use, say, foulers? But this PF doesn't look very good. Parts of vintage movie collections. Huh. I don't know what that's about. Posters or film reels or something? Okay, so one of these is wrong, I'm pretty sure. Possible threat to one in debt. A lien, or that doesn't work with either of these answers. Blank Pichu, Machu Picchu. Okay, so Fowlers is wrong. My interpretation of this red card thing could be incorrect. But Machu Picchu, there we go, in Peru. Okay. So, non-Egyptian people who used hieroglyphs. Oh. The Mayans, maybe? I don't know. Do they mean, when they say hieroglyphs, do they mean Egyptian hieroglyphs or do they mean a separate sort of hieroglyphic system? I'm not sure. Place to be, I know it says non-Egyptian people, but I'm wondering if there was a sort of neighboring people who adopted their sort of hieroglyphic alphabet in the way that sort of the Japanese adopted the Chinese alphabet. Let's see. Or characters. Place to store seasonal decor. Not sure. Good grief. Ye-God? Let's see. Good grief. I don't know. Social media request. Oh, add me, maybe. Add me as a friend. That could be it. So then maybe this is Maya. Okay, so probably it's, probably. It would certainly be a separate hieroglyphic system. Good grief. Yeesh, maybe. That fits. So like red card recipients. Evicted? They're sort of taken off the field. I don't think evicted is the word you'd use in this context. Deceptive argument. I don't know. French kisser. Oh, kisser as in your mouth. Kisser is a slang term for mouth. And in French, that's bouche. So there we go. Fermez la bouche. Someone might say, shut your mouth. Place to store seasonal decor. An attic, I see. So you maybe the Christmas things go up in the attic because you're not using them most of the year. Okay, like red card recipients are, I still can't, this is probably obvious, but I can't think what it is. Deceptive argument. Not sure about that either. Parts of it, so this was going fine, and now, as with yesterday, in the sort of final corner, I'm flubbing it. So age 65, final. I don't know. To bug someone is to annoy them, maybe? Flowing movement between yoga poses. Oh, I just don't have any idea what this is. I'm going to have to get this a different way. QVC alternative. Oh, maybe this isn't final, because I think Home Shopping Network is one of these, HSN. So what's this? Age 65. Fine. I don't know. Fin de siècle? No. Flowing movement between yoga poses. I don't know. Channel owned by Paramount. Oh, do they own Showtime? That's SHO is their abbreviation. I didn't know that those companies were connected, but maybe they are. Parts of vintage movie collections. This doesn't look right, though. I don't know. Built blanks, some shelving. Built-ins? You could have built-in shelving in a home. I don't know. Casual refusal. Nah, maybe? Could be a W, could be an H. I want it to be an H, but it might not be. Itty, tiny. Could be itsy, I suppose. I think it's probably, finish the job. It is retirement. I just couldn't think of the phrase. Okay. So, and I was wondering how we were going to end with a B, but I was confident about the cross, so I left it. Okay, finish the job. Age 65, you are retiring, at least in this potential life. Flowing movement between yoga poses. I have no idea what that is. Okay. Channel owned by Paramount. It does look like show, doesn't it? So, oh, something tapes. Oh, VHS tapes. Oh, right. Okay. I was thinking collections of actual memorabilia related to the production of a film, like, oh, I don't know. That's where my brain was. But no, this vintage in the sense of, home video in its former form of VHS tapes. Okay, so that's what it is. Oh, vinyasa? Is that something that sort of sounds familiar? Flowing movement between yoga poses. Centennial. Oh, is it centennial state or stage? Doctoral graduation cap. Is it TAM? Is that what it is? Maybe that's the case. Warmly acknowledges, smiles at. Driver's target in brief. ETA? Estimated time of arrival? I guess it must be. This must be Centennial State. Is that the answer? Oh, we haven't finished it yet. I think these are probably correct. Let's keep going. Ejected, not evicted. I couldn't think of this word. Ejected from the field. That's what it is for the red cards. Okay. And then, sophism, as in sophistry, like the sophists in ancient Greece who would, argue absolutely any position as eloquently as possible. So, you refer to sophistry as being, you can dress up an argument in however you like, but it doesn't necessarily correlate to the sort of rightness of the argument, regardless of how convincing or eloquent you are. Anyway, possible threat to one in debt, a repossession of a home or a car or something. Okay, so I think that'll be it. And yes, good. Okay, well, I really, really slowed down at the end there, but this ended up being, I think, actually a quicker solve than a typical Sunday on video for me anyway. So there we go. Let's look at our theme. Let's run through our life milestones. Might be easier to find in here. Yes, okay. At age 1, we have amateur standing, or are an amateur at standing. At age 5, it's first in class. Do we skip? No, we don't. We go age 16, I think is the next one. When you're driving crazy. At age 18, you give it the old college try. At age 21, you gain bar admission. And I think we skip 44 years all the way to age 65 when you finish the job, and finally, at age 100, you reach a centennial state. So there we go. A nice life wrapped up in milestones. And that was that. Exactly as advertised by the title. I think a very solid theme, very good Sunday theme, I think, because it takes advantage of how much space you have in the grid to go through all of these life milestones. But it's not too taxing. Once you get it, you sort of get it. And there we go. That was the Sunday crossword. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow for a quicker Monday solve, so do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Sunday. Take care.